Well, hello, and welcome to another week of Icarus Update. This is week 53, and we are celebrating the 1 year anniversary. I'm here with Gao. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Eager to play. A lot of stuff to discuss, definitely. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Can you just give me a double check on the
On audio,
stream?
already did. Audio is good, stream is good.
Okay, yep. No, because my YouTube thing was showing me no data for a minute there. So yeah, was just wondering whether or not it was all right. Okay, so yeah, we have a year of Icarus. Can you believe it?
Been alright so far. That's for sure.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's been
that doesn't really feel like a year already, but yeah.
no, it doesn't, does it? It's just it's passed so quickly,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
and it's been so much fun. But then you know what they say, time flies when you're having fun. So
Oh yeah,
time has definitely been flying.
that's for sure.
Alrighty. So we are on week 53, and today we are focusing on 1 year of Icarus and data decentralization. Data decentralization is here along with our dedicated servers beta. Plus, we look back on 52 weeks of updates. Hmm. I'm noticing that they've actually changed the screen for the game here.
Yeah, they also loaded the background of the start screen in the game as well.
Yeah, because they've changed their font.
Not only the fonts, trust me.
Yeah, great. Okay, dokie. Right. Well, would you be so good as to kick us off?
Right, right. So, happy 1 year anniversary. Today marks a year since the launch of Icarus and the 52 updates we have made to the game every single week since. We are excited to celebrate this by giving power back to the players with our player data decentralization patch. This week, all data will be migrated to players' local computers, shifting away from a reliance on cloud providers, allowing some new features, and ensuring the player community can own their game data permanently. This opens the door for many more features and changes, including characters now being able to be used across multiple sessions simultaneously, the new orbital exchange interface for exotic extraction, and our dedicated servers beta. Regarding the orbital extractor thingy, something to keep in mind. I've seen questions about this in Discord. Uh, if you're on a planet, you have extracted your exotics.
Mm-hmm.
Do not put them in your dropship. Do not keep them in your inventory. You have to call down a pod to have this stuff flown to space.
Okay.
If you do it differently, you won't get the rewards. You won't get the resources, the exotics.
Oh,
So
okay.
please do keep that in mind.
Well, it's just as well this wasn't in effect last night, then, isn't it?
Yeah, but this is new since the
Yeah.
patch.
Hmm. Okie dokie.
Like I said, something to keep in mind. So let's continue, shall we?
Yep.
This is a big update, and this will require full data migration upon launch of the patch. So have a read through all the details below. Actually, it's upon launch of the game.
Yeah. Okay.
So once you are briefed on the changes, we've included a reflection on 52 weekly updates to Icarus, including a word from our game runner Rocket on this incredible journey and what's to come.
Looking forward to it already.
Yep. Let's quickly go here. So, let's see, data decentralization and migration. This week we are releasing the highly anticipated data decentralization change. This is a large update requiring a migration process that will occur the first time you log in after the patch. However, for many players it may not change how you play Icarus at all. None of your data, characters or gear will be lost. We are moving where it is stored. Uh, yeah, so basically all your characters get reset. Uh, Everything is back on the space station. All your space gear is back at the space station. Um, if you look at your loadouts, it's actually the characters kept their current loadout.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, all their space gear at least, unless it had to be pulled, possibly pulled from the from planet. That I have not tested.
Okay.
Let's see, the first time you log in after the patch, yeah, so you start the game, the first time you want to play, it says like, hey, you need to migrate your data to local.
Yeah. So I'll have to do that before we do the gameplay then.
Yeah, but it's very quick. Don't worry, it's very
Good.
quick.
Good, good. Well, that's something at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
So going forward, all player data will be stored locally on your PC. Previously, save files and player data were saved in the cloud, where everything else, including your outpost and open world games, was saved locally. Now all data will be saved locally, shifting data ownership to the players and moving away from the game as a service model, which can leave us open to internet outages and can limit customization. Yeah, with files locally, you can now start working on mods. So I'm actually curious how long it'll take before the first mods pop up. Will be interesting to see.
Yeah, very much so.
So we see this move as putting the power back in the players' hands, giving them true ownership of the product. While this comes with some concessions, it's a truer representation of the relationship we want to build between ourselves and the players, where you own what you buy without strings attached. Kind of makes sense. You buy the stuff, and then you're no longer depending on that company to actually play the game.
Yeah,
Especially when you start hosting your own servers.
yeah, yeah.
Migration will combine your offline and online characters and account data into a single entity. This includes loadouts, inventories, exotics, REN, and skill refund tokens. It will also combine your mission progress and workshop talents, so players who have played both offline and online will see a much more saturated environment and may want to spend some time organizing their account. If you have done some missions on an online account, some other missions on an offline account, uh, they're like there's now one mission tree.
Yeah,
And the missions you did on your offline account and on your online account are now merged into this one mission tree. The same goes for workshop, unlocks, researches.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
your inventories, basically, is all merged into one now.
Okay.
All currently active missions will be reset and not migrated over, and current progress on these missions will be lost. Characters and gear will not be lost, though. Characters and loadouts will be returned to your select screen, but you will have to restart any prospects you are currently in. Actually, I just tested it with my open world account. The stuff I left there pre-migrate was still there, including all the space stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I dropped down with a new set.
Oh, okay.
So I have even more space stuff in my outpost.
Cool.
Sorry, in my open world.
Yeah.
Had I known this upfront, I could have brought a couple of more handy things like the deep mining ore scanner. Although I have to say, even when your character is in a mission now, you can still use it to go into your open world. So not really that much of an issue. It's just
Mm-hmm.
fly out with a drop pod
Yeah.
and then return with the new stuff. So meh. We have added, and this is important, we have added a new branch on Steam called Centralized, which will hold the last 1.2.27 update in case players want to bring their characters out of missions, etc. This will, however, not be present forever and will be removed in the following weeks. I used this function actually because I read on the Icarus Discord, someone was like, right, I did the update, data migrate. I went into my open world and like I dropped down with the dropship instead of continuing, and like all my gear was gone. And I was like, ooh, darn. I had like composite armor with all the attachments, a lot of titanium
Yeah.
tools with attachments and everything on my
Mm-hmm.
character.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, I hadn't played yet, so I quickly changed to the centralized branch, dropped in, and basically continued. Checked everything into a cupboard, and then flew out by dropship. Then I went back to the normal version again, and lo and behold, everything was still in the outpost. So yay, good
Yay.
there.
Phew.
Do
Oof.
keep in mind though, if you have played already and you use this trick to like recover your crafted stuff which you had, or you want to like you were like, oh, this character was in a mission, I want to complete the mission, so at least I get the resources. So you go back to the centralized branch,
Mm-hmm.
and you finish your mission, you drop off your stuff, whatever you want to do. Uh, then you exit the game, switch back to the normal branch. However, then the first time you start a game, in the start screen there is this button at the bottom for synchronization, something like that. You have to click that one
Mm-hmm.
in order to synchronize the cloud data to local again. Otherwise, you'll still end up with like without your equipment and stuff. Hey, Michael.
Hey, Michael. Good to
Michael,
see you. Welcome,
you can
welcome.
you basically had the same as I had. So what you should do now in Steam, go to this centralized branch, then start the game again, go into your open world, check everything in a cupboard or whatever. So it's no longer on your character. Because if you go back to the centralized branch, it reverts back to the status where everything was still saved at Rocketworks servers, so where your character still had all that stuff in the inventory. So you go to centralized, you drop in, check everything in a cupboard. You then exit the game, go back to the normal branch in Steam, force synchronize again, and then when you drop into your open world, hey, you have all your stuff still in that cupboard. I
Yeah,
had
it
the
works.
exact same, and I just I tested it this afternoon. Uh, the only difference being that I hadn't started the game yet. But for me, it worked. Anyway,
Alrighty.
continuing. So this migration will also migrate over your open world and outpost sessions. but it will reset and remove your characters from these missions in the process. You'll find your characters and their loadouts in the character select screen and can rejoin the game via the dropship. But this is without the planet side crafted stuff. Everything planet side crafted on your person during the migrate is gone. Steam Cloud has been enabled for Icarus, so if you have multiple computers on which you play Icarus, make sure you migrate on your preferred machine first, the one with the most up-to-date outpost and or open world content. Steam should then sync this to your other machines. This is something I haven't tested. I'm only playing Icarus on my PC, my desktop. I already made all the new stuff. Well, hey, you can still try it out, Michael. Do keep in mind, though, if you're gonna do this, make sure you don't have any planet-side crafted stuff on your character when you revert back. Otherwise, you'll be thrown away a set to retrieve the other set. So make sure you remove everything from your character inventory and everything. Check it in a chest, go to the centralized branch, etc., etc. Right, here's some words from Jake Dudunsky, our project lead. We very much see this patch as providing players ownership over their own data and enabling everyone to play without having to have access to our servers. To enable this, we had to make some concessions on various gameplay elements, but it also allows us to explore new options and provide new levels of customization and persistence that have not been available before. It has been a massive effort from the team to pull this through, and they have done a fantastic job. I want to thank everyone who has been with us over the last year providing feedback, enjoying the game, and being patient throughout the issues we have had, and hope you will join us for the next year as we continue to develop Icarus. Well, Jake, we'll be here. Don't worry.
Oh, that's a definite. We will be following you as closely as you are following us.
Yep.
And I would just like to throw out a thanks to Rocketworks and the entire Icarus team because you have done a fantastic job. I absolutely love this game. Absolutely love it. And if I couldn't play it, I would be absolutely lost. So thank you very
Well,
much.
if I can't play Icarus for a couple of days in a row, I'm going through withdrawal symptoms.
Yeah,
I think that's saying enough.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
By the way, I just created a fourth character. It works.
Oh,
So we have more characters now as well. Yay!
yay! Cool.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So
Carl
there's a
is
new character I have to level up.
yeah,
Let's check out.
Carl is going to have an absolute fit when he finds out you can have, for what is understood by me, unlimited characters right now.
He'll be making a bow character, a gun character, a knife character, a spear character, a speedy character, a mining character, a farm. He'll end up with like a gazillion characters.
Yes, he will. And he's going to have so many problems trying to decide which character to take in per mission. And there's
Oh
going
yeah.
to be missions where he's going to take completely the wrong character. And I will look forward to the day when that happens because I will be saying to you, did we not know this was going to happen? It's, like deja vu. Anybody?
Yep.
Alrighty.
Anyway,
Moving on.
a multiplayer hosting change.
This sounds interesting. So,
This is definitely something to read
Well, it,
thoroughly.
it's yeah, it's more for you than for me right now because, as we found out yesterday, I can host for myself if I'm streaming, but I can't host for anybody else.
Well, you can host and you can stream. You just can't do it simultaneously.
Well, I can stream if I'm solo.
Yeah, then you're not hosting. Then you're
Well,
playing
yeah,
solo.
yeah.
Anyway, so Icarus will continue to have peer-to-peer multiplayer it always had, where one player acts as the host for his team friends, but with one change. The original host must always be online. Previously, like every participant could host,
hmm
not anymore. Because from now on the player who initially created the mission will be the only one able to resume it. Other players will not be able to carry on or launch the mission that another player has started, as this save data is now stored on the initial host's hard drive rather than in the cloud. This is the same way that Outpost and Open World have been functioning since their launch, so that experience won't be entirely foreign to many of you. But do keep in mind, the player who started a mission always has to be the host.
Yes,
If you
yes,
want to, it's important to note as well that host should always be the last person to leave a prospect. Well, it was already like this anyway, but
yeah.
this way players are guaranteed to be able to recover their gear if needed and claim any rewards or exotics, as they will be unable to launch the mission later. However, we now grant rewards immediately during the missions to help. Michael, it didn't destroy multiplayer. Or at least not entirely. I mean, if Echo and me, if we play, I always host.
Yeah, I mean but then,
My PC is
hmm,
more powerful, so I always host. My internet is better. My machine is more powerful, so there's no real change there.
well,
Um,
not for us anyway. I mean, you've always been host, and the only time that you haven't been host, Carl's been host, and
yeah, but you can't continue a mission with another host now. The original one always has to be hosting. Uh, to an extent, though, this is what's mentioned in the next paragraph. If you want to play anytime, regardless of where the original host is, then we have introduced dedicated servers to cater for you. There will be more information below. So you can go for if you like. Yeah, I don't want it to be that the original host always has to be playing in order for the team members to play. Then go for a dedicated server.
yeah.
Because the
Valheim.
dedicated server is the host and everyone joins as a client.
hmm Yes.
So previously, Icarus had a very helpful feature that migrated the hosting between players when the original host left the game. While this feature won't exist in the new data decentralized model, there is still a way to manually share saves with each other, so you can continue someone else's prospect while they aren't online. So if you go to the mentioned folder here, you use a profile, app data, local, Icarus saved, player data, and then a folder with your Steam ID. It has a folder prospects. In that folder, let me see, can I see it already? Player data, Steam ID, prospects. Yeah, in this folder there are a couple of JSON files. Those JSON files actually is like the save file. So you copy that save file, be it an outpost, be it an open world, and I assume be it a mission. I guess it will go into the same folder. You can copy that file, send it to your friend. The friend copies it to this directory, to like his or her directory, and then should be able to host that session. Do keep in mind though, and it's been said here as well. And from here you can share them with your friends, but be aware that once a file has been activated on another machine, you'll need to have the most recent version shared back to you to be able to continue it where they left off. In
Well,
other
that
words,
makes sense.
in other words, Echo, I can now host your outpost. If you send me that file, I
Yes.
copy it here, I host it, you join, and then we can still on stream work on your outpost.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be
I
pretty
just
cool.
should send a file back to you after the stream.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that makes sense because basically what you're doing is you're passing over a file, person two is adding to it, then you pass it back to person one who updates what person two has just done.
Yeah.
So you're not changing the file, you're just adding to it. I like that. I actually think that's kind of cool.
Okay, what we see here from the looks of it is the orbital exchange interface. I'm looking at the tech tree. It's a tier 2 item, so you have to create a crafting bench. Meaning the worm boss, quick one, take the space extractor with you. Uh, Now you also have to create a quick shelter, create a crafting bench, and craft the orbital exchange interface in order to get your exotics out.
Yeah.
Shouldn't take that long. I mean, if you make one by one just for a crafting bench, you craft the orbital exchange interface, you pick up the crafting bench and plonk down this one. Or maybe you can even put it outside, like here. So it shouldn't take too long.
Yeah,
And I
well,
like, by
that's
the way, the image here, how they have put a fortification around the base.
yeah, that's
Build a
actually
base
not a
right
bad
next to
idea.
the drop pod. Interesting choice, but okay. And
Mm,
put fortification around it.
yeah, we know what happens when we build the base right next to the drop pods, don't we?
Yeah, we've seen that happen before.
Yeah.
It was like, oopsie.
Yep. And anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, speak up and we'll explain.
Yep.
Okay, gameplay changes. Alongside this change, there are a few new features that provide a more seamless experience and take advantage of the new localized data. 1. The new orbital exchange interface is a planetary crafted deployable that, when activated, allows you to call a dropship down to extract your exotics up to the space station. This means you no longer need to take them up in your dropship with you on completion of your prospect.
Uh, you no longer can take them. I've seen people complain like, hey, I lost my exotics. And then it turned out they put it in the dropship or kept it in the inventory. Again, that no longer works. The only way to get the exotics back topside is by making use of this drop pod. Keep that in mind.
Yeah. Well, that drop pod better have a buttload of spaces, slots in it then.
And otherwise, you repeatedly call one in.
Hmm. Okay. Well, it does make sense because it means then that you can use your
Hey, it's
inventory
gonna
in the
be
dropship
easier.
for other stuff.
Like yesterday, where we were running over encumbered with a ton of exotics. Next time we don't need it.
Yeah, no, because you could actually just
Ah,
like
the vein is empty. You
empty one vein,
yeah,
call a
you
dropship, send them
call
up.
dropship. Yeah,
Yeah,
then you continue to the next one.
yeah, and then you call it to the third one.
Yeah.
That's that. Yeah, actually, that makes getting the exotics much easier.
And
especially
also, if
especially
you
for
stop
solo
halfway,
players.
or something else happens, you have those exotics already.
Yes. Yes.
They're already added to your account. So even halfway through the mission, you already have like these exotics.
Yeah. That I like that change. I think that's going to make a huge difference, especially for the solo player.
Yeah,
Because
for the solo
we
player,
think
if he has
about it,
to.
right? If you did Spirit Walk as a solo player and you got over 1,000 exotics, that's tough to carry back.
Yep. You might have to call someone in just to help you pull out all the exotics
Yeah.
back to the space station.
I mean, imagine getting over 1,000 exotics and you can't, you have to haul it all yourself. You would have to run with no equipment,
Uh, it's more
or
is more
or
going to
you
be an
have to be
issue.
willing.
Like how much can you take back up?
Yeah,
How many slots do you have to go back up?
yeah, exactly. Or you have to be willing to do 2 runs to try and
Uh,
carry them all back, but you still
that
end
ain't
up.
no problem.
Yeah,
That just takes time. The bigger issue is going to be, can you carry everything back topside?
exactly. Exactly. So I think that's a really good change.
Yeah.
So part 2 says mission rewards are now granted immediately on completion of the mission rather than sent to your inbox in orbit.
Yeah. So again, as soon as the mission progress says mission complete, you straight away receive the rewards.
Yeah.
Uh,
So you don't have to
so
wait
yeah, you
till
don't
you
have
get
to
topside.
wait. You don't have to wait to like pull out of the mission in order to get your rewards.
Yeah, and you don't have to wait for somebody who hasn't left the planet to leave the
Exactly.
planet.
Yeah, I've seen that as well, where people were like, yeah, well, like my friend. The biggest one was like, yeah, my friend was wanted to try the game as well, so he got it, installed it, joined the mission, didn't like it, uninstalled it, refunded it, and now we have to wait 90 days or whatever it was
Yeah,
before we get all the exotics from that mission. Oops.
yeah,
Uh, Not only, but that's only for the exotics. I mean, as soon as the mission is completed, you got the normal rewards already. You didn't have to have like everyone pulled out, but it is for the exotics you mined planet side.
yeah,
So yeah, not really a change there.
yeah,
I mean, that was changed by the orbital dropship. But
yeah,
yeah, this one, even though you're still in the mission, you already got the rewards.
yeah,
So if something does go wrong, one way or the other,
yeah.
you still get the rewards. Mark
Hmm.
says still no hint or word when the new DLC will drop or how far along it is in development. Um, no actual dates, no. But
No.
it looks like there is this hidden branch on Steam with the DLC active already.
Ooh.
It is hinted like that somewhere here in the patch notes.
Okay, well,
I
don't
want
say
to
any.
kill aliens now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not yet, mate. Not yet.
Alrighty. Part 3 says characters are no longer locked to one mission or session and can be used on multiple active sessions simultaneously. You can select any character from the character select screen for any session at any time. Yay!
Cool. So
Me
you can
like.
run multiple missions at the same time, especially if you
Yeah.
play with a varying group, or you play in multiple groups.
Yeah.
Up until now, you had 3 characters max, and if a character was in a mission already with one group, you had to use another character for a mission on another group. Right now, you can just take the same character and join another mission whilst it is still on the first mission with the first group.
Yeah.
Uh, so, You're
So,
nice, like I say, especially for people who play in different groups, in multiple groups.
yes, yes. Part 5 says insurance
Four.
now, sorry, 4. Insurance now only insures your items as characters can't be lost on prospects. If you do not bring your items with you in a dropship, they stay on the planet until returned. If you have insurance, you can reclaim your items after 5 real-time days from the menu.
So if you accidentally leave some space equipment behind on a planet, um, you either have to wait for someone else to bring it up, or if you were the last one and you didn't have insurance, it was lost. If you have insurance, you could then reclaim it. There is this 5 real-time days counter, so you leave it today. You're like, oh shit! But luckily, I had insurance. You have to wait 5 full days before you can reclaim the stuff. Before this patch, you could also insure your characters. Because characters could die. If your mission ran out, you lost your character. No
Hmm.
longer. You do not lose your character no more. So, that's why insurance is now only for your items, because you can't lose your character anymore.
Yeah. Okay. This next one's a biggie. Part 5 says workshop items are no longer auto repaired when you return them to space. You will now have the option to repair them for 10 Ren in the inventory or on the surface using the new Tier 3 repair bench.
Yep. So basically, you have the pickaxe on your standard inventory. You have a Larple bow, maybe the Inaris DSX.
Hmm.
Uh, After each mission, you pay 10 Rand per item to repair. The same goes for your armor, 50 Rand total to repair your armor. Unless you're like, meh, my armor didn't take that much damage during this mission. I can play another mission without repairing. But it's gonna be a choice.
That's going to be expensive
Nah, 10 Rand per item, nothing.
per item.
Yeah, 10 Rand, there's nothing. Come on, you're sitting on 10k.
I'm thinking more of the players who don't have as much as we do.
Let me see. The
For
workshop
example,
repair bundle is
Froggy says that she hasn't done very many missions. Now, she goes in and does a mission and ends up having to repair everything in her inventory. She could end up with no
well.
money.
Yeah, but if you haven't played that many missions yet, you don't have that much currency, so you don't have that much space equipment.
Hmm.
By the time you have a full Naneo set of armor, don't forget you pay 1500 Ren to actually buy, research and buy the armor, right?
Mm-hmm.
By the time you have played enough missions to do that, it's easy to do a quick mission and get 50 Ren or 100 Ren or whatever.
Well, yeah. I mean, there are there
So
are there are missions you can speed run.
yeah, let's see. So either you repair it planet side on the repair bench, for which you need the workshop repair kit bundle, 5 repair kits for 50 exotics, or so basically 10 exotics per, or you repair it in a space station for 10 Ren.
Okay.
So if you want to repair it planet side, you have to pay 10 exotics per item.
Wow.
If you repair it topside, it's 10 Ren per item.
Yeah. 10 exotics per item. Ouch.
That's gonna add up. It's gonna add up like 50 exotic. So 50 exotics to repair your armor. Well, in that case, I'd rather say, you know what, I'm gonna pull out. Hey, if I drop down and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to repair my armor, I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna pull out, repair it topside, and then drop back in.
Mm. Yeah, well, yeah, you could.
Gonna be way cheaper.
Yeah.
Anyway, dedicated servers beta. As mentioned before, there is some more info about the dedicated servers. Decentralization opens the door for dedicated servers, which we are now launching in beta today. Dedicated servers let you host your own Icarus server to play with friends. You can control access, timing, hardware, and in the future customize your settings. I'm not sure how you have to read this. In the future, customize your settings, which then would mean you have a standard set of settings which you cannot change. Oh,
Hmm. Interesting.
anyway, so it's a new way to play Icarus multiplayer, but it is not compulsory. You can still continue to play Icarus multiplayer without a dedicated server. So you basically play the game still as a game as a service.
Yeah.
If you are interested in setting up and running your own beta Icarus dedicated server, you can access the setup guide on GitHub. We will also be partnering with a range of dedicated server providers to offer rental servers, so stay posted for news and info on who these partners are. This application
Ooh.
is still in beta, so we imagine we'll have some teething issues as we work through scaling this up to full capacity. To support this, we have a special Discord channel dedicated to server beta, where you can engage directly with our team on any issues that arise. So I'm looking at the GitHub. It's basically the normal Steam by the looks of it, but just some extra parameters or something. I'd have to. Oh, Steam Tools page. I think I'm gonna look into this a bit. I have a couple of machines lying around here. I can check, see if one of them is powerful enough to play as a dedicated server. I have no idea hardware requirements, especially GPU requirements. I
Mm-hmm.
still do have my 3070, my NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3070, which I can put in a machine
Mm-hmm.
if I need the powerful GPU. I don't know. Well,
Okay.
I'm gonna have a look next week or the week after. I don't know yet, but I will. I'll just have a look just to see, like, hey, how's it gonna work? It is interesting.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Anyway, let's continue, shall we?
Definitely. Okay.
52 weeks of updates, 700 plus craftable items, 240 plus deployable stations, 89 plus missions, over 400 dynamic mission rewards, over 100 types of resources, more than 250 building pieces, 1179 plus stats, nice number,
Mm-hmm.
240 plus talents, 134 plus workshop items, and 3 plus difficulty options. 3 plus? I thought there were only 3. Ah, well. Yeah, without insurance makes kind of difference, yeah.
Yeah.
Open world mode, the new features include open world mode, the rideable mounts, the dynamic missions, the in-game timer, the world bosses. Yeah. After releasing Icarus back in December 2021, we quickly shifted our attention to how we could keep innovating improving and adding to the game. Weekly updates became our approach, focusing on constantly improving and optimizing the base game while expanding the playable content and adding new ways to play to provide an experience regardless of how you enjoyed Icarus. During this time we've released some big updates, small ones, and everything in between. Some of our more memorable updates included adding insurance to prospects in week 6, so players could test harder missions without fear of losing their characters. Week 6? That long ago? Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Adding the deep ore deposits in week 10 for late game valuable resource sourcing. 43 weeks ago already? Deep ore? Okay.
Hmm.
Talent respec in week 13, allowing players to rebuild their characters as they unlock new skills.
Wow.
Has been in the game for 38 weeks now.
Hmm.
Changing the real life timer to an in-game timer in week 17. I know that was a big one.
That was huge, but it doesn't seem
Week
like it was that.
17? It's
Wow.
like 36 weeks ago. That long already. So we have been playing twice as long with the real life timer than we ever played with the in-game timer.
Yeah. Wow.
Adding the world bosses in week 23. So 30 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
We've been playing longer with than without world bosses.
Yep.
Adding the styx maps and mission pack in week 25 is only 28 weeks ago. Like,
Wow.
we have been playing longer with than without styx. Okay. Adding the
That.
horde mode in week 29er. That was a nice one as well, or a nice one. It was an interesting one as well.
Yeah, that
I'm
was
gonna try
fun.
it again on my open world at some point with fortifications, obviously. I want
Yep.
to see how they hold out.
Oh yeah.
Adding the Moa and the Buffalo Mounts in week 42, so 11 weeks ago already.
Jeez. Already?
Yeah.
Wow.
Adding the open world in week 47. 4 weeks ago? We've been playing open world for 4 weeks already, apparently. Full persistent survival experience. And now changed to a bigger, bolder Icarus logo. So looking back, the work we've done has been quite a journey. The Icarus we launched was different game than it is now. Oh yeah. We have
Mm-hmm.
tripled the available missions, added an entire second map, new game modes, new dynamic features, deployables, craftables, and fixed thousands of bugs in this time. In this time, our players have invested over 34 million hours in-game, a number that still blows us away to this day. 30 million hours in-game in year time.
Cool.
So if you do a quick calculation, and we say a year has 365 days a year times 24 hours a day, is 8760 hours a year, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if we say it's 34 million, if divided by this number, it means on average, at any time, there are almost 3,900 people playing.
That's a lot of people.
At any given time, like 24/7.
Worldwide.
Yeah, almost 3,900 people simultaneously.
Wow.
I know, right?
That's a huge.
Anyway, if you can get us through Dean Hall's comment.
Yep. Certainly will do. 1 year of Icarus. And this is a comment by Dean Hall, CEO. Okay. Releasing Icarus has been the studio's coming of age. As I've mentioned before, the beta weekends last year, prior to our release, were a mixed blessing. On one hand, it demonstrated a significant ground of players eager for our content, but it also outlined problems with both the concept as well as the game itself. Most of all, the beta weekends crystallized what the game needed to be very effectively, helping end any uncertainty about what the game needed to be on the development front. You can think of the beta weekends as lighting a fuse on an explosive. It could only last a finite time before it needed to end. Our studio has a long and strong history of not crunching our project, but short iteration cycles during the beta week was exhausting for our team. Not to mention outages of hours placed additional pressure. The launch proper was rocky as well because we had sorry we had
We
made
had
so many
it.
changes in the final beta weekend that it became impossible within that last week to properly test the breadth of the changes in the game in a real environment with large players. That came with the launch. After such a rocky launch, we focused on two things: a detailed after action lessons learned process to identify what to change in the studio across all aspects, committing to a set content cadence to build trust with the community. Internally, we agreed this would be an update each week, every week, not with a single week missed, including holidays.
Yeah, we have seen this even if they had public holidays, then they brought out the update a day early. So they still went with the weekly updates.
Yeah, yeah. And they haven't done that very often, though.
I don't know of a game who brought out so frequent
No,
the updates.
no, never. And but it's been good. It's good to see the changes. It's good to see the game grow
Oh
in
yeah,
that way. Um,
definitely.
yeah, it was really hard, but I'm really proud to say that the team did both of those and
And done
done
so with
so
a
with
plum.
aplomb. The initial weeks were hard as the team scoped as much as possible into every update, but eventually we learned to keep the scope measured and portion out the work in smaller, more manageable, and consistent ways. We changed our build process to bring the builds out earlier and worked with our fantastic community members, particularly on Discord, who would give excellent feedback. This feedback extended far beyond traditional testing, proving real boots on the ground information around balance. Each weekend, we would be fortunate to see a number of content creators who stuck with the project from the start. Most of them, I would say, have at times and continue to be quite critical of the project. This has played a very important role in the game getting to where it is today. They've asked tough questions and pointed out our mistakes or missteps. This has helped the team and the studio to grow. This update brings us to the point where we move away from that traditional game as a service or live service model. When we first announced this, there was some pushback and concern. I hope we have done well at explaining why this is important for the longevity of the game. We do not want the game to be reliant on the studio. As a game creator, I think the best outcome for me would be if people continue playing the games I make long after I am not there to work on them. This is an important step on that path.
Mhm.
The addition of dedicated servers and the decentralization of the data, also the community. I'm sorry, let me start that again. The addition of dedicated servers and the decentralization of the data,
And
also
also
the
the community.
also the community to do further work to pull the game apart and make mods and conversions for the
Mm,
game.
also allows the community.
Yes. Okay, yeah, it's big typo there. That's what threw me. They allow our team to make changes that were impossible before. They provide resilience, removing the requirement to support a complex and expensive back end. I now know we haven't always done the right thing, and we haven't always been as fast as you or we would like at fixing these mistakes. But we thank you for being here with us nonetheless. We're excited for the future of Icarus. I hope you are as proud of the team as I am. It's been a heck of a 12 months, and their work on the game is a testament to their resilience. We watch your videos, we read your reviews, we look at your posts, we talk with you on the Discord. Together, I'm confident we've reached a point we can really build Icarus into a game we all want.
Yep.
Cool. That's quite a statement,
Oh yeah.
but
Content creators. That's us as well. Yay.
yay!
Yeah.
And as was proven last week by the visitation of Jake, whom I say hello to, um, proves that.
Yeah. They're
Um,
indeed looking at the streams, the following stuff.
yeah. So to Dean Hall, from one content creator to another creator, thank you very much. I love you, the game. It's brilliant. Give me more. Alrighty, that takes us into the change log and new content, which the first one there, new logo. They do
Yep.
have a new logo. Wow.
So we added server settings, I assume for dedicated servers, for
Yeah.
preventing non-admin players from either launching or deleting prospects. Especially the last one to stop griefers.
Yes.
Cleaned up the matchmaking subsystem code, adding comments and extra steps to make sure session finding gets cleaned up correctly. If a session is completed, it should no longer be in the list.
Yeah.
Let's see. Moved test matchmaking server browser code into its own file. Yeah, not really something we have to worry about
Nope.
yet.
But thanks.
Yeah. Remove the duplicate spawn of the quest manager. Not entirely sure what he means there, but okay. Uh, what's? Oh, I think. Oh, I see what's going on here. Sorry, I'm doing multiple things at the same time as usual.
Okay. Uh,
Adding
I'm.
the ability to repair workshop items in space for 10 Ren,
Mm-hmm.
as we've mentioned before.
Yeah.
Orbital
Orbital.
Exchange interface now has an associated blueprint and updated recipe. So you have to unlock the blueprint in your tech tree and then you can craft it.
Oh, that's going to be an expensive one blueprint point.
Uh, one blueprint point. I only have like over 1,000 blueprint points, so yeah.
Yeah, I have quite a few as well, so yeah, not short of those.
Let's see what orbital. What's it gonna cost? 10 wood, 8 rope, 7 iron ingots, and 7 copper ingots. So quite cheap to craft.
Yep,
But it does mean you have to go out mining.
that's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, you do the mining anyway, so
Yeah, exactly.
'cause you're so speedy at it.
Yep. And let's see, fixing the return via dropship text so it makes sense in terms of the data decentralization. Yeah, I haven't tested it out yet, so I have no idea what the text is right now.
Okay.
Updating the workshop preparing space to use better calls and logic as to avoid any potential issues. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Click. Tidying up the load prospect screen user interface to show more feedback on remaining time, rewards, and some small layout fixes. Yeah, again, I haven't really looked at those kind of things yet, so.
Good to know, sir. Adding description text for open world in D prospect list. Good to know. Tidying up server browser, fixing various overlap issues, adding open world text to open world sessions. Well, that would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the open world sessions now show it's an open world, so
Yeah,
you're not confused whether it's an open world, an outpost, or a mission.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's good because that you do actually, like I find myself looking at all the information on the screen at different times during every mission. So yeah, I would want to know.
Yep.
Okay, change insurance timeout from 14 days to 5 days. So instead of having to wait 2 weeks, you now only have to wait 5 days. I suppose after 2 weeks, you could kind of forget about it, huh?
Hmm.
Okay. Updating descriptions where insurance is mentioned to explain how it works. Good. We like that. Always good, yeah, especially, like if people are like brand new to the game, um, it's better for them to know more so that they can understand how things are supposed to work together. So, okay, updating insurance display panel to show text if there are no items currently insured.
Yeah,
Good.
the whole loadout screen has been changed quite a bit. It's a tad harder to figure out what is in a drop, what's not in a drop. It's a tad, how to say, confusing.
Mm, yeah, yeah. Okay. Updating escape menu database save text to reflect what it is now actually doing, saving the state of the prospect.
Escape menu database save text. Okay, yeah, I'll have to check what is exactly in that save text there.
Alrighty.
Oh,
Updating load prospect user interface to include open world and outpost names when selected.
yep.
Cool.
Yeah, load. If you say load prospect, it now also gives you the name It says it's an open world or it's an outpost or whatever, but it also shows you the name of the open world or the outpost, so you know which one you're gonna load.
Good, good. Added session type added session type prefix before names in button selection in the load prospect user interface. Same as before, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fixed talent syncing issues with unlocking new workshop items and unlocking new missions. Mm, okay.
Talent syncing. Yeah, there was. You sometimes had this where like, hey, all of a sudden you had some more talent points, or you had less talent points, or there was something funky going on with the talents ever so often.
Okay.
This should now be fixed.
Alrighty. Good. Updated workshop repair kits and bundle description to refer the player to the repair bench instead of machining bench and fabricator.
Yeah, because with the introduction of the repair bench, you could only repair your workshop stuff, your space stuff, at the repair bench. But uh, if you right mouse clicked it to repair, it still said you can do it in the machining bench or in the fabricator.
Right. So now
They
now it will
updated it
just say
notes.
repair bench.
Yeah.
Cool. Added icon for orbital delivery interface. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, this is the whole new orbital delivery thingy.
Yeah. Okay. Modified rockets saving to clean up rockets for players who are no longer part of the prospects.
So your drop pod no longer stays behind when you pull out. If you pull out by dropship, sometimes the dropship stayed on. There was still a dropship on the planet, even though you already
Yes,
pulled out by
yes,
dropship.
yes. I
They fixed
remember
that.
you. Yeah, I remember you pointing that out to me by asking me how many drop ships I saw when we got back to going up,
Exactly.
because we had too many drop ships for the number of people that were left.
Yep. So that should be fixed by now.
Good. Pre-migrate, pre. Oh, go to you, please, just for a minute.
Hey Jason, careful using the new exotic ship. It's apparently not functioning correctly. That's a bugger because it's the only way to get your exotics up now. If you keep them in your inventory or in your dropship, they
You,
no longer get taken back up. The only way to actually take them back up now is the orbital dropship thingy. So if that ain't working no more, if that ain't working proper either, then we have an issue.
yeah,
Huh.
yeah. So
I
the
have to
moral
say
of
I
that,
have not seen anything in the Discord about the exotic delivery ship not working properly though. I haven't
uh,
seen anything in Discord yet.
maybe people haven't had time yet to go and finish the
The patch
exotic run.
dropped over 12 hours ago, so people have already been using this. Trust me.
Well, I suppose
Oh,
if you wanted to test it, just go and do payday extraction, which is the
oh,
one on um where you only got
oh,
like 64 or something exotics, which is not a huge amount.
yeah.
So
So yeah, friend used it, got its rent, but no exotics. Maybe used it wrong. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I haven't done it myself yet, so
yeah,
I
well,
don't
I'm
know.
not doing a spirit walk with the new settings then until I know that works properly. 'Cause I'm not risking over 1,000 exotics. So anyway, moving swiftly on.
Let's see. Pre-migration character data on drops should now be correctly cleaned up. So the pre-migration data on the drops. This should prevent flip-flopping between two different inventories or positions when reloading pre-migration saves repeatedly. Yeah, I've seen them talk about this in Discord indeed, where I dropped in with equipment set A, I pulled out, dropped in again with equipment set B, I still had A, so I pulled out again, loaded up equipment set A, dropped in, all of a sudden I had equipment set B, things like that. So they
Yeah,
fix it? Good.
good.
Yeah, Jason says I will screenshot the exotics before shipping. Good idea, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but then you also should screenshot the amount of exotics you have in orbit before going back up. But yeah, it's especially if you're short on exotics, it's a good idea to keep an eye on them.
Oh, for sure. Definitely. Excuse me.
Let's see, where were we? Yeah, lock the Styx open world and mission buttons behind the Styx map package flag. Added optional multi-flag requirements to all Icarus widgets. Overall mission buttons behind them. Okay, so for people who have not installed this the Styx stuff yet, they can't. They don't see no Styx mission and stuff in the start mission screen.
Oh, yeah,
I,
okay.
I reckon.
Okay.
I reckon that's what I meant.
Okay. Fixed issue where package flags weren't being automatically unlocked in editor build targets.
Yeah, again, editor. If they say editor, I immediately think of developer possibilities, developer options, not something a regular player should see.
Okay. Added scroll bar to load game prospect list. Adjusted UI layout of load game window elements to be more in line with other load new join screens.
To the scroll bar to logo. Yeah, more some visual changes.
Yeah.
Also tidying up the insurance claim UI and pop-up, again some visual changes. Players can now close the insurance claim UI with escape. Good. The escape menu doesn't really look much different from before.
Okay.
I just checked.
Okay. Currently selected prospect in load screen is now highlighted. Adjusted style of resume prospect list to match others. Okay. More visual effects. uh, adding new function to player data component to retrieve a character's loadout based on a past in prospect.
Based on a pass in a prospect, okay.
Okay. Adding loadout information and various information messages about loadouts on the load screen. Okay, thank you. Fixed a bug where outposts tied to package flags couldn't be selected when starting a new outpost.
Outpost tied to the package flag. Okay, yeah, again the sticks package flags. The sticks are Olympus.
Okay.
Those flags. Let's see. Uninsured loadouts are no longer automatically deleted when returning from a prospect. This allows the option of returning to the prospect to collect the missing items. Loadouts can still be deleted though from the pop-up menu if you no longer want it.
Okay.
So basically, if you take off, you still had stuff, space stuff somewhere in the prospect. It's no longer auto removed, auto deleted,
Good.
which is good.
Yep. Well, it's not much point in trying to go down and pick up something that's not there.
Yeah, but at least now you can go back in and grab the stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Added scroll box to the insurance pop-up and items on drop pop-up so that no items overflow if you bring over 10 items now.
I didn't know the insurance was initially was only for 10 items.
Nope,
I did
neither
not.
did
I did
I.
not know that.
Hmm.
Okay, if you right-click a space item in your inventory now, it indeed points you towards the repair bench, repair bench.
Okay. Okay.
So that's confirmed as well.
Right. Made layout and navigation of load screen similar to other prospects outpost screens. So another visual change there. Fixed leaving a prospect that has multiple of your characters on it via dropship, removing the wrong character from the prospect. So if
Yeah,
I went down with Echo and Styx. Echo was there, and I wanted to leave with if I had Styx Echo and Sparrow wanted to leave, and it took out Styx Echo, I'd be pretty mad.
yeah, but then again, you shouldn't be on the normal missions. You shouldn't go in with multiple characters.
Yeah.
So I'd say it's your own fault.
Oh no. Okay, fixed enviro suit still showing as checked out on a loadout when they were returned, but another part of the loadout wasn't. Huh?
On loadout were returned, but not part of. Okay, so if only part of the loadout came back, this is how I read it. If only part of the loadout came back, the enviro suit itself was like, yeah, it's not back yet, so you can't use it. Tough luck, mate.
Right, okay. Okay.
That's how I read it.
Okay. Fixed old map log spam on dedicated servers when loading an existing prospect. Fixed burnt trees being incorrectly loaded after rejoining, which
Oh
caused
yeah,
clients to knot them.
we have seen that before. Where
Oh
you're like,
yeah,
hey, this tree, why can't I cut it? This burnt tree, and I'm like, yeah, hey, I'm the host and I don't see it.
yeah. How's about that?
This also caused people to get stuck sometimes on such a tree which was only visible for the host. Then the host had to come in and cut down that tree to basically free the player.
Yep. Do you remember the clip in the latest video where or one of the latest videos um you're standing in front of a burnt tree that for you isn't even there?
Yeah. So that should no longer be the case.
Oh, I know what it is. It's the video called "It's There, I Tell You," because I
Yeah.
think the
Well, like I said, that should no longer happen now.
yep.
Good.
can now only reclaim or destroy existing drop loadouts from the loadout screen after character select. Could previously do this by clicking on any instance of the UMG items on drop widget.
Yeah, but now you have to first select your character, and only then you can reclaim or destroy your loadout.
Yeah.
Why would you want to destroy your loadout? I know Carl has done it a couple of times with the old equipment, like the old space stuff you don't use no more,
Yeah.
and like for example the key knife or another less useful space knife, in order
Yeah.
to clean up your space loadout.
Yeah, because I remember I had heaps of MXC knives and stuff, and I wasn't using them anymore. And I'm like, I've got like 3 or 4 of these things. How the hell do you get rid of them?
Yeah.
And
Well,
Carl,
you can now leave them. Well, if you left them in a mission, they still came back up.
yeah,
So you had to go into an outpost and leave them there.
yeah. Okay. What's next? Removed case where old prospect expiry time is set when it is no longer used. Hmm. All right then.
All prospect expiry timer says. Yeah, the old expiry timer is no longer there. Your characters no longer can get lost because of an expired mission.
Yeah,
They fixed that.
good. Fix blueprint compile error inside UMG items on drop list.
Oh, thank you for fixing that.
Excuse me.
You are
Yep,
excused.
thank you. Fix a possible cause of multiple instances of the same prospect showing in load screen and sometimes missing associated characters data. Change the get all associate prospects function to get all outposts and open worlds first time characters associate.
So change the function to get all the outposts in open world first before character associated prospects, and deduplicate the merged results using the prospect ID. It has to be manually merged up after a review. Multiple instances of the same prospect showing the load screen. I've never actually had that issue. Then again, we don't have that many prospects active at one given time anyway. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
anyway,
Included
let's see.
open world outpost names on buttons and loadouts for better clarity in menus.
It was stated before already. Like the names are in there now, so you don't get confused. Like it's telling you, hey, it's an outpost, or it's an outpost, and this is the name of that outpost, or it's an open world, and this is the name of the open world. Remember how it had said that before?
Yeah.
It's basically that line, but just differently worded.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. Added a temporary fix for incorrect lobby privacy when resuming prospects. This temporary fix means lobby privacy is now set. Sorry, lobby privacy is now set to whatever privacy you initially hosted the prospect with. I've seen people complaining about this already. Like, hey, I went into the mission solo, so private, and then I died, so I went to the LFG looking for group channel. ask someone to come in, but unfortunately the prospect was private, so people couldn't load. So I exited, back to character select, and then loaded again, set the privacy to Steam Friends. But people couldn't get in because when creating the mission it was set to private. And I do hope they fix this quickly, because I've seen quite a few people in looking for groups channel like, hey folks, I died, can someone come in and rescue me? This no longer works if the prospect was initially set to private. And hopefully they fix it soon, so you can change the privacy settings whilst in the prospect, especially for those people. And let's see, next updates to the load screen UI. Players are now prompted to select lobby privacy when loading a prospect they have a character on. This actually contradicts the previous line.
They don't do that too often in the updates, do they?
Yeah, it's true. Upon loading, you have to select the privacy, be it a mission, be it an open world, be it an outpost, whatever. But it kind of contradicts the line above where it says, "Well, it's nice that you select another privacy, but we're not going to change it as a temporary fix for something."
Hmm.
So, like I said, I do hope they fix this quickly.
Okay. Fixed an issue that was preventing deletion of the last remaining character on your account. Hmm. Never heard of that one.
Nope. Then again, I never deleted all characters on my account.
No, me neither. I always had one running. Okay. Deleting a character now correctly removes additional character related files, associated prospect files.
Good.
Alrighty. Good. Yeah. Fix sorting of get all associated prospects results so that prospects with the selected character is actually associated with are at the top of the list.
Yep. So the load screen tells you like, hey, you can load these prospects, and it actually puts the one where this character is in already, puts it on the top. Especially handy if you have them in, if you have a whole lot of open worlds and outposts, and if you have your players in your characters in multiple prospects.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Making searching for the correct outpost or open world or mission or so makes it way easier.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Updating text for peer-to-peer and dedicated servers so it is localized.
So basically other languages.
Yeah.
That's what the localization means. So
Yeah.
especially
Resume
handy
button.
for our non-English players.
Yeah. Yeah. Resume button will now be disabled if the previous prospect played with was a server friend.
Yeah, so you can't resume the prospect anymore if you're not a host. You can rejoin if the host actually starts the prospect again, but you no longer can, to avoid the whole issue with and what we were talking about before, the whole issue like always saved locally now. So you can't resume a prospect if you're not hosting it.
Okie dokie. Upgraded migrator version. This will trigger a fresh migration for all players.
Yeah, like I said, the force migrate button on the start screen.
Yep.
Well, not entirely. I said this wrong. There is such a button now. This is actually they had a migrator already, but it wasn't. It was like only for if you were on experimental branch. They upgraded it so it now also is valid the migrator for people on the live branch. So it triggers this for every player, and if you switch from experimental to normal branch, it triggers a resync. That's what
Okie
this one
dokie.
means.
Alrighty. Uh,
Update the title screen to use the new key art, and I have to say it's looking nice. And actually, the centralized branch has a different art than production, so it's also visibly different if you play like the old temporary centralized branch. I've not tried the test branch, so I don't know whether or not that one has yet another art. It's quite possible though.
Okie dokie. Reduce the size of Icarus logo texture to improve aliasing issue on main menu. Added parallax effect to main menu key art.
Thank you for the visual changes.
It's gonna look good.
Oh, it does.
Adding logging to update and host session functions.
Yeah, it's more like if you want to send in bug reports, it's they need it. They need those logs.
Yeah. Forcing an update to trigger every time the prospect data is set. The update allows a refresh and broadcast of the session for multiplayer.
Update to trigger every time the prospect data. Yeah. Refresh and broadcast. Yeah. How to explain? I mean, this, or at least for me, pretty self-explanatory already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fixed issue where key art character position would pop on first opening title screen. Okay.
Key art character position with pop. Okay.
Hmm.
There goes my screen. It says boom. Oh, no, it says pop.
Yeah. Switch to clean version of new Icarus logo. Added panning smoke. Shifted character key art in front of new logo.
Yeah, again, some visual changes.
Yeah. Fixed smoke clipping on the title screen. They fixed buttons not being interactable. They fixed the ordering of the new screen title key art to prevent it overlapping with settings credit menu. And finally, they fixed, is that tiling or tilling smoke texture on the title screen, not filling entire viewpoint.
Tiling. Tiling.
Tiling.
But yeah, again, some visual changes. Hey, Froggy.
Hey,
Everything is
Froggy.
good here. We went through the bulk of the patch notes already. So, yeah. New data decentralization, so everything is going to be stored locally from now on. First time you log into the game, it will do a synchronize to local. If you still had characters on a mission or in an outpost or so, also on an outpost, I've seen multiple people heading this, and I had it myself as well. There is a temporary branch called centralized branch on Steam where you can change your game to the centralized stream, you can still play for a couple of weeks the old version, allowing you to finish your mission or go into your open world / outpost. Get everything off your character, everything planet crafted. Otherwise, you'll lose it all upon migrate.
Yeah. Alrighty. That now takes
Well,
us into the things that they have fixed. Um, we are an hour and nearly 40 into this, so how much do we have to go yet?
well, we've had a bulk.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's quickly go through the fixes, shall we? So,
Okay, well, I was wondering if you could take us through the
yeah,
first, I don't know.
through the first batch, sure. So, the fixed talent syncing issues with unlocking the new workshop items and
I'll
unlocking new missions.
be right
The
back.
syncing between like the online and offline characters, they all be merged and stuff. Uh, for your workshop item unlocks, the researches, sorry, and the mission tree unlocks. The offline and online characters progress has been merged now into like one environment. Remove harvest particle and associated assets used on the berry bush actor, not using the existing effects flow. New unique DM for the berry bush pending. Okay, thank you. Various texture settings fixes and optimizations. Remove the project location component from blueprint actors that shouldn't need it. The old copy paste error. Improve location on fir and pine saplings. Fixed persistent blocker actors initializing before recorder components had been reloaded. No idea what they mean there. Fixes issue where existing open world saves would have their that one, yeah, would have their blockers active even if player had completed related missions to unblock them. So especially on Styx map, where there are missions to unlock shortcuts in Styx, right? Uh, some caves which are blocked by default, but if you do a certain mission, in this mission you have to open up the cave either by blowing it up, explosives, or by drilling through it. They should unlock on your open world as well. It didn't proper, and also during missions sometimes those blockers returned. Very annoying because then you have to run the very long way around. This should be fixed by now. Luckily. Fix up some redirectors in the environment folder. Fixed to the floating mineable rock in J13. And the cliff in I6 on Styx. J13, hey? J13. If J13 is Olympus. Nah, there is this one in the desert entrance in G13 in Olympus, where every time we walk past this floating rock is like this floating node is like, hey, what's it gonna be this time? That one hasn't been fixed. This is another one. And the I6 cliff on Styx, where is that? Somewhere in the central forest in the river, central river. Oh well. Remove some duplicate unused berry bush assets. Thanks for cleaning it up. It's gonna make the whole updating also a tad smoother because less files. Reprinted berry bush blueprint to the resource node base instead of the trash node base, as that stack is no longer being used. Basically some code cleanup. Clean up some master texture references, more code cleanup. Fixed grass being disabled on some plants where it makes a tangible difference to visuals. Visual changes. Fix dependency issues with help menu. So on the space station, apparently there were some dependency issues which are fixed. Good. Yes, Jason, we will be playing later. Don't worry. Once we went through the patch notes, we will be doing some gameplay as well. Exotic delivery ships now can only carry exotics in their inventories. Well, people tried to haul other stuff back to the dropship. For example, some grenades. I don't know. Just for fun. Well, they now only can carry exotics. Okay. Deleted 6 copies of the same bark texture. Yeah, that's gonna clean up. 3 duplicates of the same leaf normal texture. Gonna clean up again. Duplicate smoke texture. A whole lot of repathing. The for 1 file names. So that the incoming 1300 plus reference fixes point to a nice file name. Yeah, a lot of code cleanup here. The flare arrow and the transport pad flare setups to be green yellow again. Via new assets after the blueprint caused crashes and was removed. They always were green yellow. I don't know, maybe they tried to change it and that went wrong. I don't know. Some more flat icons, textures deleted. Fixing an issue where players could not unlock workshop items. May block mission tell it unlock in multiplayer on clients. Could not unlock workshop items. I know where, and I've had it myself once as well, where I did research an item in the workshop and I could not craft it because it said, hey, it's not researched. So I clicked research it again and said, yeah, no, I can't because it's already researched. And I had to go back to character select and select the character again before I could actually craft the item. But there's not really an issue where I could not unlock the item though. So I don't think I've seen this one before. Anyway, so the down drone in the dynamic mission will now reload as intended. It was not saving. I never actually, because it's only short dynamic mission anyway, so I never actually halfway through a downed drone mission. I never actually halfway through exited and reloaded, so I've never seen this happen. Hunt missions are now once again deterministic after creation. No more random flip-flopping of targets on reload. Well, you started the mission, you need to kill 40 wolves, you killed 20, you're done for the day, the next day you resume, and all of a sudden you need to kill pigs? That would be annoying.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah. Maybe that's what I mean here. If that's so, I'm very glad I fixed it. But as a matter of principle, I never do the hunt missions anyway. Dynamic quest mission. They fixed quest tagging on rewards to never give the quest tag stats. Was previously giving status 0. This will allow players to stack cash rewards as expected. Yeah, something I've been complaining about for a while indeed.
Yep.
The rewards from the missions, those dynamic missions, they don't always stick. So I have like 3 stacks of flint arrows. I can't combine the stacks. I have multiple stacks of copper bolts. I can't merge. Steel arrows. I can't merge. Very annoying.
Yeah. I have 2 piles of bone arrows that I can't blend.
Yeah, one is from a mission reward and the other one is you crafted yourself.
Yeah.
A Unfortunate, I'm afraid. I haven't tested it yet, though, I have to say, but I'm afraid that unfortunately the items you already have still can't be merged, but I'm afraid this is only going to be for future rewards.
Oh, well.
Well, we'll see. Fixed description text format for augmentations, plunking, and abyss steps to allow translation. Yeah, it's a bit annoying if half your mission text is in German and half is in English. If you're a German player, that is.
Or vice versa.
The game is written in English. Everything is by default in English and being translated into different languages. So
Yeah.
if there is no translation available, it will be in English.
Ah. Oops.
So not a vice versa part.
No.
Updated augmentation mission objectives to use a variable for the count, allowing easier updating of those values. It's been a while since we did this mission, so yeah. Fixed not being able to scroll in the server browser. Is this for the dedicated server part? Server browser?
Um. Don't know.
Well, we'll see. Enabled logging on shipping client builds. More for them than for us. Dynamic cache mission. Fix a random seed of creature spawns guarding the cache so they will not reset on relaunch. Again, those are very easy, the dynamic cache missions. Why would you stop halfway through the mission? Like, you killed the animals which are supposedly guarding it. Usually you can just run up to the cache, pick it up, and not even see the animals. But so you kill them, and then you reload before getting the cache, and then those animals are back. Again, why would you reload in between? But hey, that's me.
Hmm.
Remove the red light on the orbital exchange interface. Move the audio locator for both orbital exchange interface and the short range radio to be closer to the devices for the mesh. Okay, so the audio source point is closer to the bench now. Well, it should be at the bench, but okay.
Good.
Change the hint text from enter outpost name to enter prospect name. Now that this user interface is used for outposts and open world. Yeah, enter prospect name for your open world. Sorry, enter outpost name for your open world. Now it says enter prospect name for both. Good. Blacklist the RP adapter, remote desktop protocol adapter from graphics driver detection. The whole let's see if you're running the newest driver suitable for this for Icarus. That function, which was introduced a couple of weeks ago, apparently it also looked at the built-in Windows RDP adapter and said, "Hey, you need a newer driver." Yeah, sorry, mate, but Microsoft hasn't brought out a newer driver for this one yet.
Yeah.
So they no longer look at the RDP adapter. Good.
Good.
Fixed a bug where you couldn't shoot through the fortification gates. I reckon open the gate, try to shoot through, and arrows get stuck at the gate. Basically mid-air. I don't know. Never
Yep.
tried it.
Hmm.
Then again, just close the gate and stand on top of your fortification. As long as you have the spikes, you can just look at the animals killing themselves at the spikes.
Yep. Which is just
Um,
as much fun.
yeah, it's like we noticed yesterday during the scan mission. Put fortifications around the scanner, put the spikes on, and just sit there, do nothing, and all the animals who want to attack the scanner, they just kill themselves on the spikes. Yeah, it takes all the challenge out of that mission, but hey, at least you get an easy reward.
Yeah. For a change.
fixed a bug where creatures couldn't navigate properly through the semi-destroyed variant of the fortification gate. I haven't had my gate damaged that far yet, so. Here, fix an issue where Steam API call wasn't recognizing unreleased DLC packages. So this is where I read, apparently there are DLC packages on Steam, which are not in a released state yet. And if that's so, it would make sense. It would be the new Prometheus one.
Yeah.
And
Ooh.
this is what I meant when I said to Michael earlier. Like, it kinda looks like ish there is the Prometheus DLC already there, but not accessible for players yet.
Mm-hmm.
So those were the fixes. Now we have the future content. There isn't a whole lot of interesting stuff in there. There are a couple of things though, but not a whole lot there.
Ice
So
borer.
Ice Borer tier 3. Yeah, we have seen this one being mentioned before. Some tier 3 drill-ish to collect the ice, the super cooled ice,
Yeah.
which is apparently a new resource. Not a building resource, more like minerals.
Okay.
Let's see.
I haven't seen that mentioned before. The toy.
No, the Toto is new indeed. So apparently a new plant, Toy.
Well,
Okay.
well, an aspen is a tree, so I would assume that the toy is also a tree.
True, true.
What else have we got?
Let's see, where was it? Yeah, the SM node super cooled ice mesh material and texture. So yeah, super cooled ice in combination with the tier 3 ice borer. That's where I read like, okay, there is this new material, this new resource called super cooled ice, which one could say has to be mined by this ice borer.
Ooh,
And let's see what else. There was something about some new mounts. Oh, an iron wall. Fix wrong icon use on iron wall double window.
what? Where's that? Oh, there you
Uh,
go. Got it.
so apparently we are going to get iron building pieces as well.
Ooh,
One thinking logically, I'd say not a whole lot for temperature insulation.
no.
Stronger, but also heavier than aluminum. No idea whether or not it's going to be stronger than concrete. This is something we have to wait and see.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Uh,
Deletion use duplicate Ponga assets.
yeah. See,
That's
I've
new.
never heard of Ponga before. And
Exactly.
actually, here we go. Initial setup for Snow Striker mount.
Yep, that's all. Indeed, one I wanted to mention as well. Another mount, Snow Striker. So we logically we will have to go to an Arctic biome to get this here mount. I thought there was also mentioning about yeah, a bit higher swamp quadruped mount.
A what?
Updated swamp quadruped physics assets and added critical hit volumes to blueprint. Removed carry function for swamp quadruped corpse, so if you kill it you can't carry it away. Added base setup for swamp quadruped mount. A bit higher. Like 5-6
Oh, there we
bullet
go.
points higher. So added base setup for swamp quadruped mount. So yay, another mount. It's gonna be interesting to see how many new mounts we're gonna get with the new DLC.
But it's also going to mean that your mounts may well become biome based, so maybe they don't.
As in, like the snow one, if you bring it into the desert, it'll suffer from the heat and start dying?
Yeah, kinda, yeah.
Maybe. Would be interesting though.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah. Then maybe you have to let it drink more frequently in order to keep the temperature down. Interesting possibilities, interesting prospects there.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were basically the things that jumped out from me for the future content.
Yeah, for sure. That was crikey. It's been a while since we've had a 2 hour discussion about the updates.
Yeah, hey, but it was a massive update with the
Oh,
whole dedicated server part.
yeah. And with it being the year anniversary of Icarus, I mean,
Yep.
it, yeah, they've done a huge amount.
Yep. So yeah, well, there isn't a new mission, but I would say we can do a quick grab some exotics mission and test out this new orbital exchange thingy.
Okay, well, I would initially suggest a speed run for payday.
I'm more thinking about the deep vein. Because payday, you have to mine a vein. So you have to go to at least tier 3.
Oh, I always get
Yeah,
those two
indeed,
mixed up for
indeed, Froggy.
somebody.
Indeed, Froggy, I just started the game already, I know. I saw you logging into Icarus, says Froggy. Steam tells me everything. Yep. But yeah, the payday extraction is the one where you have to mine a vein. I mean, we can do it. We can bring the space extractors. Sure, we can do that.
Well, no, I was thinking about doing the one that we can speed run.
That's the other one. That's the deep vein extraction.
Yeah, I always
Yeah,
get them. I always get it.
yeah, I know.
It doesn't make
It's
sense because the names describe the opposite.
exactly. Deep vein extraction is the nodes, and the payday extraction is the vein.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See
but yeah, to
that.
the deep vein extraction, we obviously will need to put down a little base because we need to build the orbital radio thingy, and we need
Yeah.
to smelt some ores to actually build it. But yeah, sure.
Well, no, I was thinking about the one,
Yeah, the deep
deep.
vein extraction, the speedrun one. Yeah.
Yeah, the speed run one. Just purely because I know this sounds really awful and selfish, but I do have to work in the morning.
Oh, don't worry, I don't.
Oh, I do. um, Froggy's just put up a comment there. I can't read it because I just took my glasses off to rub my eyes.
Yeah, I watched a live stream from Ixion, and it actually looks pretty good. Don't like to scroll out. I actually can scroll close to the build, and it looks like it gets pretty deep confused. Well, it is a very nice looking game, and the cutscenes are amazing. The whole scrolling part, well, zoom in a little bit more to get a bit more detailed view, scroll out a bit to get a more overview. I got used to it pretty quickly.
Yeah. Alrighty. Having said that, do believe that takes us. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups for some reason.
That's what I
Um,
noticed.
yeah, I do believe that takes us to the end of this week's update. Um, this might be a rather funny exit, but never mind. Um, we are going to return in 15 minutes. And we will be testing out the oh god, what
Orbital, whatchamacallit, dropship extractor thingy.
yeah, the thing that you've got to put your exotics in now. So we're going to do a speed run. But anyway, we will return in 15 minutes and we will
Orbital exchange interface.
thank you. That's the one. And we will be testing the orbital exchange interface. So I'd like to thank Jason and Froggy and Michael for joining us tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you. We will see you shortly. Until then, it's good night from me,
And good night from her.
and we will see you in 15 minutes. And remember, folks, it's a dangerous world out there. Take care of yourselves and each other. Good night.